Hey everyone, welcome back to DiviArts Studio. Today we are going to be painting a beautiful watercolor hydrangea in loose watercolor painting style. So grab your watercolor paints, brushes and paper and let's get started. To start, I've gathered my watercolor supplies. I have mentioned all the supplies used in the description below. Next, I have taken inspiration from this picture and have done a quick sketch on my watercolor paper. Next, I will take my watercolor paper and I will test out some paint. I'm starting with the ultramarine blue with a lot of water and very less pigment. And now gently I'm just dabbing my brush on the paper to make a stroke in the shape of petal. I'm just experimenting it on the paper first so that I will know that what kind of strokes I am going to get. This is a great way to test your strokes before you put them on the paper. And now I will take some turquoise blue and I'm just dropping more water. I will be taking cobalt blue, turquoise blue, and indigo mix. I will be using Winsor and Newton watercolor paints. Now I will start with my first stroke, and you can see how I am just dabbing the color onto the paper. I've taken a lot of water and very less pigment. I'm gently just pressing my brush in the shape of leaves direction. I'm starting with the light shade, the lightest color. So you can see a lot of white in the flower. I am just taking the lightest shade of blue. To get that, obviously, you have to take a lot of water. The more water, the more light the color will be. Now, when the water is already wet, I am just dabbing a darker pigment of the same color and just dropping a little bit of the color on the wet paper. So you can see how beautifully I'm getting this effect. This is called wet on wet watercolor technique. You can check out more on techniques in my watercolor techniques video where I have shared 7 techniques to get started. And now I will continue using the same technique for the rest of the flower. Next, I will start painting with the leaves. So I'm taking sap green color and I will start with the edges and just spread it all over the leaf. Again, the same formula, starting with the light color, and then I will add the darker tones on top of it. So while painting, you can see where the light is falling and the lighter color is coming. So you can see how I'm adding the darker tones in the leaves. Again, using the same technique of wet and wet. So while the base is wet with the lighter shade, I'm adding the darker shade on top of it so that it blends nicely, and also adding the darker tones to the shadows of the leaf. So if you have noticed the leaves of the hydrangea flower, they have a very sharp edges, and while painting them with the watercolors, I don't have to be very particular about the shapes and edges. It's just a little loose style, so I'm not going to paint it totally realistic, and will continue with my loose and realistic style mix. I did some soft blending of edges of the leaves and flower later, which I couldn't capture in the video, but you can easily do that using plain water and brush. And there you have it, a beautiful watercolor hydrangea painting, easy to do. If you have any questions or suggestions for future tutorials, please let me know in the comments below. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.